It is so great to see you. And I'm letting folks know that on of course my platform, Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, rudyblairmedia.com. I think you and I have known each other for at least a quarter of a century.
At least our
Least.
bond runs deep, Rudy. I'm very happy to be
Yes.
here speaking with you today, as always, every time I get the chance to see you.
And I have to say, you do not age at all. And I'm going to try to post a picture up in this interview of us, maybe one of the first times in meeting. And I'm going to show your hair was shorter,
Yep.
but you don't age at all. How do you do it?
I, you know, I don't know. Lots of creams. I don't drink alcohol. I think that's a big, people don't like to hear that answer, but that's it. That's
I
why.
believe it. How, you know what? Like, when you look back at everything you've done as a performer and now a host on CBC, how do you think you have evolved in this business to always be at the top level and representing Canadian music the way you have?
Well, I have to say, I think it's because I have been in the position of every single artist and musician who is struggling to make music in this country today just because of where the ecosystem is financially in the music industry. You know,
Mhm.
you hear all these people on the radio and think, oh, they must be rich, but people are struggling. And I know
Yes.
what every opportunity, what it actually means to an artist. So I feel like with me, with my role at CBC Music, it's really to bring the voice of the artist to people to get kind of an inside look of how musicians work and how albums are created and songs are created. And it gives me the opportunity to elevate and uplift Canadian artists. And I do believe this is my favorite role that I've had throughout my career. I just get so much personal satisfaction from it. Um, in getting the opportunity to get other people's music out there. And I know what a gift it is to get on the radio. And I'm stuck in my own joy love bubble in this job. I truly, truly love it.
I'm going to talk about that in a second. Of course, we'll get to what we're going to talk about. Of course, all the great things that are going on with CBC, CBC Music, throughout the Junos that people can connect to. But I want people to understand something. Yeah, artists are having a tough time these days. I want to go back in a little bit of history, and I want to point things out and what you were dealing with when you were in front of that microphone performing. You had to deal with um, record companies merging. The word Napster was starting to come around. We were going from vinyl to CDs to MP3s, and artists not knowing where money was coming from. I
Mhm.
mean, it was such a quickly changing environment, and you didn't know which way was going on. You could have recorded an album, and that album could still be sitting in a vault somewhere. Like, it was crazy times.
It was a it was like, it feels like the wild, wild west. But
Yeah.
then even now feels even more like the wild, wild west. At least then, you know, if you were an artist, you could sell CDs and merch at shows and make enough money to pay for your gas and your flight. These days, because nobody's buying music, like the toothpaste is out of the tube at this point. It's very hard to get it back in. So I don't know how people who are full-time musicians in this country are actually able to
Yeah.
pull it off. I don't know.
I know it's tough. I was over at oh God, I was over at the Horseshoe Tavern, watching several bands performing, and not a lot of people were in the audience. Bands were
Mhm.
just playing their hearts out and things like
Yeah,
that. They had a merch table, but I was thinking the same thing, like, how are they doing this? One of the
mm,
bands was from London, to drive from London to Toronto, do this performance, trying to sell merch. Like, yeah, you're right. It's tough.
it's really tough. So I do feel like I'm somebody who really focuses on glimmers as opposed like of joy. So I'm finding those wherever I can. I know I'm sounding very doom and gloomy, but I'm so excited about going to the Junos because there's so many incredible artists. Now, what that means is that the people who are doing it really want to do it. You know, they're there because they have no other choice. This is their vocation. It's not a career, it's a calling. And you do it which so that means that the artists who are there are next level. Like the music that is being created in this country is next level. And you can look at the Billboard charts and look at songwriters, artists themselves, producers, engineers, all of these incredible people that we are fostering in this country as a result of things like Factor and
Yeah.
support from the government, which is making this somewhat feasible for people. You know, we're doing the most with the least in this country, and where we're sitting internationally shows it. I mean, just look at, there were 3 Canadian songwriters on Beyonce's first country song, which went to #1. I mean, when I read that, I was so excited. I couldn't sleep for 2 days.
I love
Very
it.
excited. Mm.
I'm excited for you too, because we should mention, of course, you are a host. Talk a little bit
Yeah,
about that, please.
I love it. I have always been a big geek for CBC. Like since I was a little kid, it was my first gig ever was on a show in Newfoundland called Skipper and Company. I sang when I was 7 or 8 or something. I love the medium of radio. I love the idea of a bunch of people listening to something at the same time and having a collective, like unconscious, energetic experience. Um, I love it. I'm really, really drawn to it. I've wanted to do this my entire career, and I'm just really lucky I get the opportunity to do it, and I get the opportunity to do it at CBC. I pinch myself every day, all day. I love it. And because I'm at CBC, I'm going to the Junos, but I'm going to be working, and I'm so excited about it. I'm co-hosting the opening night awards with Abba Amakwando. She's amazing. We've only met over Zoom, but you know how you already know you love somebody. You know, okay, this is going to be great. We're going to have a great time. And I'm hosting the Songwriter Circle and a panel of the producers who were nominated this year on the Thursday night. And then I'm doing my radio show live from Halifax Monday morning, the morning after the awards. And I will be going straight from the parties. I am not missing anything. When I first started at CBC, the Junos were in Toronto at Budweiser stage, and I was like, I have to get up at 4 o'clock the next morning. I'm not going to go. Well, you know, I stayed up watching it on TV and then felt FOMO and couldn't sleep. So after that, I was like, never again. Sleep when I'm dead.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. CBC is going to have a lot of programming because not everybody can make it down there,
Yes.
of course. So,
Mhm.
what are some of the programs that we can check out on CBC, whether it be on radio? And of course, we do have the broadcast on the Sunday. But as you mentioned, so much is happening because, as you said, there's actually an award show on the Saturday before that that
Yes.
you're co hosting.
Okay, I'm going to give you the most important information for anything you want to check out about the Junos. Just go to cbcmusic.ca/Junos. And there you are going to find everything and anything you need. You can stream the opening night awards on the Saturday, which is Saturday, March the 23rd.
Mhm.
I believe it starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there are going to be performances by Aquila, Lucala, Begonia. I mean, tune in for those 3 artists alone, and we're going to give out over 40 Juno Awards. So that's on the Saturday. And then, of course, the broadcast itself, hosted by the GOAT, Nelly Furtado. And there's going to be performances by The Beaches, Charlotte Cardin, Maestro Fresh West. I can't wait for that. Allison Russell, Jeremy Dutcher, Morgan Toney, Talk, and of course, Nelly herself. I'm not sure if we're going to get any music, but I don't have any inside scoop, but I mean, she's got to play, right?
I think she's gonna. I think so. Actually, has.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
know, it's Nelly. She always wants to get back in some great way, shape, or form. So I could see her, you know, coming up with some great surprises for us. Just as long as she doesn't fly like a bird, like I'm still traumatized.
But honestly, wouldn't that be cool if she was in a harness
I don't
and a
know.
bird outfit?
I'm still traumatized by that when she did it the last time when she hosted. They had her fly in.
Oh, they did. They already did this. Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just like, I hope not. But
I hope
either
they
way,
do. See, that's the difference between you and I. I want to see that.
we'll see how it all works out. But like you said, it sounds like you're going to be busy. CBC is going
Yeah.
to be extremely busy with all
Oh
the
yeah.
programmings and stuff and being able to see the things that are going on. I know CBC loves to also do things where we get to see past history and what's
Mm,
happened with the Junos. And again, we can all see this on CBC Music. So much history is going to be made. I think one of the most important things is because you've been through this
mhm.
personally. What advice can you give some of
Oh,
these artists who, especially first time Juno nominees, what
yeah,
advice
and
can you give them?
as you know, there are over 90 of them. 90 first-time Juno nominees. I'm so excited. My advice would be to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Soak up every single second of it. My first nomination was for Best New Artist, and I remember sitting behind the Tragically Hip, and I was just, oh, what? It's amazing. And then when Shay, my band Shay, was nominated for Single of the Year, we were sitting right behind Nickelback, and Chad had his bodyguard go get us beer when he was getting himself beer. It was awesome. We had like endless supply of bodyguard beer. My advice would be to enjoy every single second of it. You will never have your first time again. There's nothing to stress out about. You have no control over whether you win or lose at this point, but you do have control over whether or not you're going to make the most of this opportunity in life.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your incredible career. I'm going to be heading to Halifax. So I will be there in the press room. I will be there on the Sunday red carpet in the press room again. So somewhere along the line, you and I are going to run into each other, maybe even one at after parties or
I can't
whatever
wait
else. But it has
because I
been
will be
too
at
long.
all the after parties too. I'm just letting all my bosses know now. This is what's happening.
I love it. Again, love you,
Love
love
you
what
too.
you've done, and so glad that we've been able to travel together through this great Canadian music industry. Thank you again for the interview. Good luck on Saturday, and I will see you at the Junos.
I will see you there. So great to see you. Bye.